Alright, peace and greetings, YouTubers. Okay, so Roots, the second episode. Let me just go ahead and say I'm a little frustrated because I did not know that they were going to actually have each episode air each day, like back to back to back to back. I thought this was going to be kind of like how they do the Underground series or American Crime Story or something like that, and they would have each episode air every Monday, just to kind of keep the peace in the workplace for those who have to go to work the next day while they're pissed off about everything that they just saw on TV the night before. But I guess just like the original series, they're like, no, we're just going to get it all in 1 week. So I guess the producers and all were like, it's probably just safer to just give it all to them in one blow and, one big shot and, let's just pray for the best. So they're praying for the best. And I already texted all two of my white friends just to let them know I might be on the edge by Thursday because after tonight's episode, I'm in a different space. I'm in a different headspace right now. But overall, the second episode was very different from the tone of the first episode. And there's a lot of things in this second episode that didn't really take place in the 1977 version, which was kind of interesting to follow. So one thing that I noticed was they put a lot of emphasis on what was going on during the Revolutionary War and showcasing what happened when Kunta Kinte left the plantation for the second time on the run. In the first one, they just kind of show that he leaves again, and that they capture him and they cut his foot off. They don't really say exactly what it was he was doing, or at least I don't remember them putting emphasis on it. In this one, they're like, oh no, he was over there and he was helping the British during the Revolutionary War. And that scene in itself was already entertaining because at first I was looking at the British like, okay, I almost rock with y'all a little bit because they had a little bit of sympathy for all of the enslaved people because Kunta Kinte, along with a bunch of other people who were enslaved who had broke free, were all kind of, I guess, together and were trying to, escape to freedom, and somehow they ran into the British and they ended up helping the British, and the British didn't kill them or nothing, and the British was like, you know what, when this is all said and done, I'm going to give you this little piece of paper that says, that you have some freedom and you're good to go. I was like, okay, well, maybe y'all aren't as terrible as I thought when I saw the first episode. But then they were like, but at the same time, I need y'all to do us a favor. Y'all have to stand over here and keep guard and make sure that the East is, protected, so you need to go that way. And all the people that were enslaved were like, but we don't have any weapons, what we supposed to do? And then all of a sudden, that's when this side kicked back in and they, wait a minute, don't you question my authority, boy. When we say do something, you go and do it, or you'll be in jail and everything else. I was like, jail? They already slaves. Like, it ain't gonna get no better than this, or any worse than this. But, so that was messed up, because then when they went over there, then half of them got shot. And I'm like, that's messed up. They didn't even have anything to fight back with. That was such a punk move. But then Kunta gets caught and they cut his foot off. I was like, Lord. And that was a scene I couldn't really sit through. And if you follow me on Snapchat, you know I was snapping during that scene. So, Lord, fix it, Jesus. Fix it, Jesus. What else happened here? But there was a lot of things that were different. Fiddler's story was a little bit different in this one, because in this one, Fiddler actually gets killed. In the original one, Fiddler grew to be an old man, and him and Kunta were just chilling and kicking it by the tree, and then out of nowhere, Fiddler just died. I don't mean to laugh, Fiddler just died, and, you moved on. In this one, Kunta had, he had gotten married, and he had just had his daughter, Kizzy, and, he was going out into the woods to go and, present Kizzy to God and everything else like that, and do the family matriarch names and all that stuff like that out in the woods, and he asked, Fiddler to go with him as well. And then as they were out there, people were like, oh, the slave catcher people were like, oh, y'all are trying to sneak off. You shouldn't be on the road after sundown, blah, blah, blah. Where's your tax papers? And out of nowhere, Fiddler decided, I'm not going to be a punk no more. I want to pop off. So Fiddler was like, you know what? You're not going to keep calling me boy. My name's not Fiddler. My name is Henry. And I'm like, well, Henry's still a European name, but okay. But yeah, so Henry decided to pop off, and then, dang, he got all of a punch and a half in, and then he got stabbed and killed. I said, dang. That's the only thing that's driving me crazy about this version of the series. Everybody who fights back or tries to run is not even close to reaching any kind of success. Like, anybody that fights back is killed in the first 2 punches. Anybody that runs gets about 6 steps out, and then they get snatched back. I'm like, this is just depressing, because they had the best strategy. It's just not executed well. You know what I mean? But hey, listen, that's just the way life was. Some other things that I noticed. Oh Lord, and then, okay, let me see, they got married. You know what made me laugh? I thought it was I like that they showed Kunta Kinte trying to court his wife. I always enjoyed that part, because they didn't really show it in the last one the way that they did in this one. He went up there and had his song ready, and then she closed the door on his face. And then, he reattempted, because he had Fiddler playing the hook. playing the song while he came, and then Kunta Kinte said like 3 words, and then I forgot the wife's name. I forgot her name. Forgive me, Lord. But the wife was like, "Yes, I'll marry you." I was like, "Dang, that's it? That's all you had to do? Like, they ain't been on no dates or nothing. Ain't no courting. It's just he sang a song. He said about 3 words about what it was like in the Gambia, and she was like, "Yes, I will marry you." See, that's how it's supposed to be. But instead, y'all sit there and let Destiny's Child get in your head. You try to ask somebody on a date, and they, what? Can you pay my bills? Can you pay my telephone bill, my audio bill? Then maybe we can chill. I'm like, damn, I gotta do all that just to get a conversation? No, I'm just playing. But anyway, so, they get married, they jump the broom, and then, when Kizzy's born. Now, the part that got me about Kizzy is Kizzy had this trifling ass friend named Abigail. And Abigail is the white girl who is the slave master's daughter. Now, Abigail's also in the original version as well, and there's some things that are still the same. So, like, Abigail teaches Kizzy to read, and her and Kizzy are just super tight, best friends, life is great. I got a little nervous watching it because it seemed like for a minute that Kizzy didn't have to do no work for like a good 45 minutes in the episode. She was just chilling. She had access to hanging out in the house, and I was like, oh, Kizzy got it made. Okay, Kizzy, you doing all right in comparison to everybody else on the plantation. And then we were reminded that Kizzy was still a slave at 20 minutes later. Because, listen, when they were playing with them dolls and Abigail's friend, I forgot the girl's name, got pissed off because she didn't want Kizzy playing with her, and then she went and got the doll that was supposed to symbolize a black person. Well, you have to be the slave. I said, these little girls can't even play dolls without the doll having to be the slave. Like, Kizzy just... Lord, but it's okay though, because Abby had Kizzy's back, because then Abby went and got them scissors and was going to stab the girl. I was like, okay, Abby. So I rocked with Abby for a little bit, but of course, when things happen, stuff hits the fan, that other side comes back, and Abby went and totally just traded in Kizzy. That was a hot mess, because I guess the part where, I don't know if it was a tornado or if it was a hurricane. I'm guessing it's a hurricane. But the hurricane happened, and she also had the crush on the boy Noah, who was trying to break out and break free at the same time. Noah sneaks off during the storm. And they kind of kept that storyline a little bit. That didn't happen in the original one. There wasn't the storm. It was just he snuck off and got caught. And then they found out, Kizzy had something to do with it, and they sold it that way. But in this one, it was more so, he snuck off, and they found some stuff that had Kizzy's little forged signature on it that was supposed to make it pretend like it was his freedom papers. Or maybe that might have been the original. I can't remember. But what I found interesting, I felt like, dang, Noah didn't even make it off the plantation good. I was like, come on, man. And if I was Noah, I would have played that off. I'd be like, listen, it was storming. I didn't know where to go because my living quarters got blown away. I just went to go hide and seek shelter. I would have played that off so well. Or I would have been like, I don't know, some of the cows started running because they were scared. I was trying to bring back all the cattle and stuff because, that's a lot of money. I don't want you losing out on your revenue. So I went out there to try to rescue the animals. I wasn't running away. I wasn't going nowhere. I'd have played that mess off so well. But he went out with a bang, though, because the man, listen, he said he ain't having it. So when they kept shooting him and he just kept coming, I was like, the only thing that pissed me off, because then I started thinking about freaking Darren Wilson's punk ass and the alleged story about what happened with Mike Brown and how, I just kept shooting at him and he just kept coming. Like, okay, y'all tried it. But anyway, that's what I kept thinking of. What else? I'm just over here ranting, just talking all kind of nonsense. Those are the main things that were different, that stuck out. This episode, it jumped a lot. And it was mainly because I think they have so much that they have to cram in. Because I think there's only 2 episodes left. Because we are already at Chicken George. I said, how Chicken George already born? In the 2nd episode. I think Chicken George showed up in either the end of the 3rd or the beginning of the 4th one in the original. But yeah, Kizzy, I like that Kunta Kinte was very proactive in making sure that Kizzy knew who she was. And making sure that her lineage and her heritage was still respected, and that she knew who her parents were, who her grandparents were, what her father used to be, where the family came from. And because Kizzy was very, very assertive in comparison to the other Kizzy. The other Kizzy on the 77 version kind of got on my nerves because she was so bubbly and happy and life was just so good, and I'm trying to figure out how. But, this Kizzy was like, look, he taught her how to ride that horse. And that's what got me, that part got me too. When she had got sold, and then she woke up, stabbed the dude in the neck. I'm like, all right, Kizzy, we in this, we going, we out of here. We about to do this. She jumped on the horse and got 3 steps, and then the dude clotheslined her and snatched her back. I'm like, dang, really? Then when the guy tried to rape her and she done set him on fire, and that still didn't go well, and then somehow Chicken George was born. I don't know. That was the only thing. Everybody who kept trying to fight back just kept losing in this episode. It was a lot. It was a lot to deal with. And Abby, by the way, I know you ain't living no more, but just if your ancestors are watching, I don't appreciate what you told Kizzy about the Bible and how everything was made in his image and meaning that black was not. You tried it. Okay, so if any of y'all are Abigail's ancestors, just know y'all spread the message to her. Write it down and put it on the gravesite if you see her. Anyway, I'm just being silly. Let me get off this. So I guess I have to do a review tomorrow and the day after for the last 2 episodes. I really thought I was going to get away with doing this over a 4-week period, but I guess you're going to get me for 4 days. So anyway, I'm out. Subscribe. Let me know what you think about the episodes. Yeah, I had some other videos I want to do this week, but I'll just give my focus on Roots because clearly this is such a draining experience to have to sit through. I'm like, whose idea was it to think this could just play 4 days? Like, that's the other thing. You know, the fact that it already has to be condensed into 4 episodes as opposed to 5, and then you want to squeeze it back to back to back. So it's like all of the climaxes and all of the absolute worst parts are all put together in one super 4-episode series that you got to sit through and pray that you make it through. So y'all pray my strength. I'm out.